Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's a real privilege to be here, and I'm grateful to Ikram Sehgal Saab and the Pathfinder Group for the opportunity. Normally, you would see a senior government official here, so it's a big change that we have. You have two people here who are not only in opposition, but we're also in opposition to opposition itself. So it's kind of a unique situation. And I was, when Ikram Saab invited me, I was wondering what would I talk about. Because when we go on media, we talk about what ails Pakistan and how bad the government is doing and how bad the country is doing. And but it's not the place to talk about what ails Pakistan. I think we need to look at where the potential is, where the hopes are. And I was told yesterday somebody talked about potential, and he said potential has always been there, but you just have to realize it, you have to exploit it, otherwise it just remains potential. And I think that's been the story of Pakistan. But I would like to talk about the reality of Pakistan and probably what fixes we need. And I am also from a mountainous area in Pakistan, and I was coming here, I looked up some data, and I actually had not looked it up before, and it's truly amazing. Davos is the highest town in Europe, 1,600 meters. My hometown, Murray, is 2,400 meters. Mont Blanc, which is not far from here, at 4,800 meters, is the highest peak in Europe. Does anybody have idea how many mountains Pakistan has over that? Over 5,000 meters? No, above, higher than Mont Blanc. How many do we have, do you think? Pakistan has 4,555 mountains above 6,000 meters. 4,555. And the ones above 5,000 meters, higher than Mont Blanc, they've not even counted them. There's countless numbers. Literally, if you go on Wikipedia, it says countless peaks above 5,000 meters. So just imagine the potential. That's the reality of Pakistan. Wherever you go, you see that potential. We just have to realize that potential. I think that's where our failing has been. And it's if we talk about Pakistan, it's been a failure of leadership. Both political, the military has had long stints, and the judicial leadership. And that's what I always push. If Pakistan needs one thing today, it is rule of law. I think that is critical. The supremacy of the Constitution. If we treat the Constitution with some superficial disdain, some contempt, in fact. But the reality is, and that's the reality of the whole world, if you do not have rule of law, if you do not have constitutional rule, the economic improvement, the economic prosperity is very difficult. And that's what we need to fix. Even this year, the people who won the Nobel Prize, it's a pretty amazing, their work is pretty amazing, and they've talked about the post-colonial rules, and what they've really focused upon is that the countries that have prospered in the post-colonial rule are the ones that have had rule of law. That's where Pakistan needs to go. And we need basic reforms. Pakistan, the systems are failing. And today, unfortunately, the political system is not up to meet the challenges. And we have seen major parties are all in power. They all have either a state government, a provincial government, or the federal government, and there's not much improvement. Because if you look at the US elections, the European elections, even in China, you go to China, they all talk of reform and continued reform and continuous reform. Pakistan, unfortunately, does not talk of reform. Whereas the reality is that every system that Pakistan has needs immense reform. Pakistan is, people looking in from abroad do not realize it's the diversity that Pakistan has. Even today, when I travel within Pakistan, I see cultures, I see ethnicities, I see languages which I did not know about. So it's not a homogeneous country, it's really many, many people who come together in that part of geography. So we must be cognizant of, when we work in the political arena, we have to be very cognizant of that situation. And that's where, in fact, it's the diversity itself inhibits reform in the country. That's a very difficult thing. For example, if you take water, Pakistan has 7,000 glaciers, the highest number outside the polar caps. And today, our glacier melt is the highest in the world. So, where the rest of the world prospered and contributed to environmental issues, Pakistan is the one that is paying the price. We have literally floods every year. This year, we have a different situation. We have a drought situation. So, the global warming, the environmental issues are seriously impacting Pakistan today. They're affecting the economy, they're affecting the people, and these are challenges that the world needs to come together to meet. Pakistan, administratively, we've been always, myself and Mr. have been advocates of, we have four provinces which have disparity in size and population, huge disparity. One population is, one province is 2/3 of the population, and another one is 2/3 of the land mass. So there's always the apprehension about the majority province controlling the country. So our solution has always been to break up Pakistan into new provinces, and if not into new provinces, because there are serious local issues which inhibit that. Some are historical, some are ethnic. Our solution has been to devolve power. We have devolved power down from the federal government down to the provincial governments, but now I think it's time to devolve it down to the district level, so the district can compete with the financial authority. So the districts can compete on what the police force works, how good the education is, how good health is, and I think that will create a healthy environment for Pakistan to move forward. The first time I came to Davos was in 1971 with the then Prime Minister. And we were 1991. And at that time, we were the darling of the Davos Forum, because Pakistan had a very successful start to its privatization program. We were, in fact, the first country in the world. The first sale of a privatization of a financial institution was done in Pakistan. We sold a bank. 4 months from the start of the transaction to handover. It's been a very successful transaction. There had been no financial institution sold in the world before that. In 1991, the government controlled everything in the country. 450 industries, about 70 corporations, cement, fertilizer, telecom, you name it, the government owned it. Today, we own nothing. So it's been a very successful privatization, but it's a story which is not very well told. Then I came here in 7 years back, in 2018, as the then Prime Minister. And there was a very telling small little story there. That year, the star player at Davos was a guy called Carlos Ghosn. Remember him? Head of Renault and Nissan. Yes. So there's a round table within the Davos where you bid for tables and who do you want to sit with. There were 10 tables, and they're all head of state or head of government who come there, and you can sit with these 10 very influential world individuals. And I think there were like 150 people there, and Carlos Ghosn got like 90 plus bids to sit with him on his 10-seat table. So, and these are all heads of state or heads of government. And can you imagine who Carlos Ghosn wanted to see? Pakistan. Because he saw the potential in Pakistan. So he actually came to see us, and it's a, you see, you must have been there. They're very small rooms, so your knees are knocking with each other when you sit in those rooms within the small space they give you for as a country. So, and I asked him. He said, "Look, I see potential in Pakistan, so I'm going to bring a Renault plant to Pakistan. I'm already done that, and I'm going to build a Datsun. I didn't know Datsun existed, but it did. And I would bring a Datsun plant to Pakistan. Both of those did not happen because the government changed and the government priorities changed, and we had an accountability process which has inhibited growth in Pakistan. So those things never happened. So again, there's a lot of potential that can be realized in Pakistan, but of course, it will remain potential if we do not reap it. Pakistan has many pluses. We have a very passionate diaspora which literally sustains Pakistan today. They send home money which is equal to our total exports. In fact, if you count the informal channels, the money is probably much larger. So it's the passionate diaspora which sustains Pakistan. And now they're into the third generation, and the relationship has not diluted much. And the only people I kind of compare that to are the Irish in the US. They're very passionate about their home country, which they left like 200 years back or something. So that's a huge plus for Pakistan. But do they invest in Pakistan? Probably not. They invested in real estate, and that has kind of gone south also because of the fluctuation in the exchange rate. But the biggest potential Pakistan has is again something which is not very visible. 2/3 of Pakistan population is below 30. I think it's the biggest youth bulge in the world. Countries are struggling with aging populations. Pakistan has a completely inverse situation.